After our work had been over, we returned home carrying the box. Leslie contacted Ben and told him about the box and my grandfather's cryptic visit. Ben seemed interested and said that he would arrive shortly. Leslie liked to add ambience to a scenario and decided to play a horror-themed soundtrack on his phone, which I had to admit that it did suit the atmosphere well. In the meantime, I had to struggle with having a lock open. Peering inside the device, I discovered that the gears had been covered in rust and decided to pour vinegar into the crevice from the kitchen. The gears began to loosen after inserting the ornate star key, and I twisted as hard as my strength would allow. After the third jiggle, the lock snapped open with a squeak and fell to the floor. "Finally! Let's have a look inside this thing!" I exclaimed, then opened the lid slowly to peer inside.
Wait until Ben arrives. I don't want to spoil the surprise,
Leslie said happily. We heard a knock at the door. I peered through the spy hole and deemed it safe, since it was Ben at the other side, and I let him enter.
So, what is in the box? I really want to know.
"We are about to find out," I said assuredly. What we discovered inside the box left us in awe. They consisted of the following: a worn journal, records made to play on a gramophone, photos in black and white, a necklace that had a golden dragonfly for a pendant, a pair of white gloves, yellowed with age, and a glass jar full of marbles and jacks. Leslie complained and said,
It's just a bunch of old dummy junk. How the hell is this supposed to help us?
"I am more interested in the journal," saying with awe, gently removing the green leather-bound book with care from the crate. Ben removed one of the photos and glanced at the image.
One of the ladies looks like you, Lenore. She has a guy under her seat,
he commented, tapping the paper to get my attention. We looked at the picture together. It was almost like looking into a mirror. The only difference had been that she wore a white sundress with veiled sleeves. She was sitting on a man's lap who hugged her close. The man was attractive, with side-parted short hair, youthful facial features, and eyes that were soulful, yet a hint of mischief to them.
That has to be Spectre.
"I have to admit, he is handsome," I murmured, while having a flushed face.
Oh, don't tell me you've fallen for him, Lenny.
"Maybe," I admitted, feeling embarrassed.
Yeah, don't blame you. He is pretty hot.
"It's more than just his looks. He can be nice," I said in defense.
You know, Lenore, you can be confusing. You don't show interest in anyone. If someone hits on you, you might show interest if they play the cards right. I don't see you saying someone has a sweet ass or something like that.
Leslie said, being irritated. I frowned a bit, remembering the awkward conversations I had with other girls while in middle school or high school, then teasing me and calling me a closet lesbian because I did not ogle guys like they do. But I did not like girls in that way at all. Could something be truly wrong with me because I do not look at them like meat? It's not like I chose to be this way. Why could I not be a horny teenager like them?
Did I say something wrong?
It's nothing. All I know is that I'm different, I said, trying to stir the conversation away from myself.
It's nothing, huh? Then how come you're frowning? It must be something if you're being sad.
It's just that I don't feel urges for someone right away like the rest of you. Maybe after a while, if I really like a guy, it's as far as I go. I tried looking at porn shit, but it just did not get to me.
So, wait. You're just really shy? Is that it?
No, it's just a blank to me.
Oh, Lenore, I'm so sorry. I can be a real dick sometimes,
he said with remorse and hugged me close.
Wait a minute here. I know what she has.
Ben exclaimed and pointed to his phone. He had done an internet search on his phone and pointed to the screen. It displayed a flag that consisted of white, purple, and gray stripes with a black triangle.
She's in the asexual spectrum. Specifically demisexual. They can get crushes, but not... they don't really,
feel lust for someone right away.
Oh, the whole sex drive thing is locked in acetama on it?
Pretty much. There's other people like her too, you know.
Leslie faced me and asked,
Is that another reason why you was feeling depressed?
Yes. I felt like something was defective in my head and there was no way a doctor could fix me. Like I'm broken in a weird way. I said, being honest yet feeling awkward. It's the first time I had spoken about my own sexuality, or in this case, lack of it.
Well then, you're queer in your own way like us.
But I only get crushes on guys.
Oh, you can come to the Pride Parade with us next year.
He dismissed it with a wave of his hand, then added,
Don't be ashamed of being this way. So what if you don't fit some standard? It's not that big a deal to us. You accepted us, so we should accept yous.
His speech touched me deeply, and I felt a sense of belonging with them, despite me feeling like an alien for so long. Happy tears rolled down my face, and I could only say, Thank you. Thank you so much for accepting me and not calling me defective. They both hugged me in a loving sandwich, with myself being in the center.
That's it, Bella. Let it all out.
Yeah, we know how you feel about coming out of the closet.
Hey, let's have a little party later. We can have purple and black drinks.
Sure, why not?
I could only give a sheepish grin and say, Okay, let's have a party afterwards.
Well, we literally don't give a fuck.
Leslie cheered and we laughed at his pun. I'll never forget that heartwarming moment those two have done for me. Now I know how kind they can be. I opened the journal carefully, ensuring not to have it crinkle to dust despite the decay and age it has underwent so many decades. The penmanship was done in a spiky cursive, and I read the following out loud.
September 13th, 1933. I have met a wonderful woman, Lenore. She was a singer at a comedy club and playhouse. It was a challenge, to say the least, in myself finding the courage to talk to her, but she had a certain spice to her personality. It was love at first sight, I suppose you can say, when she mesmerized me with that voice of hers. I caught her from slipping on a banana peel after she removed herself from the stage. It is such a shame that she had rivals, and those who saw her as an enemy instead of a fellow co-worker. Having her in my embrace was a moment of joy I had savored. Such a coy little thing. I want to visit her again.
Well, damn. We know her ancestor now.
Well, go on. There could be other clues, you know.
Sure, but I feel like it is something private here, I said, feeling slightly conflicted.
We have to know what happened that led to this curse.
You have a point. I relented, then continued to read the next entry.
September 15th, 1933. After much coaxing, I had persuaded Lenore to have an outing with me. It was endearing to have her clean ice cream off my face with a napkin. I have discovered that she has a shocking sense of humor. Her jokes are vulgar, but it is a guilty pleasure of my own to be amused upon them. Then I confessed to her of my own dark comedic tones, to which she released the most adorable giggles. I enjoyed wrapping her in my coat whilst we rode in the buggy together.
Aww, that is cute.
Leslie cooed. Ben stared at him while blushing, then shook his head and gestured for me to continue.
September 21st, 1933. My family's dabbling with voodoo took a turn for the worst upon this autumnal equinox. They made a bargain with the lower spirits that they should not have done. My grandmother insisted upon it to ensure success with our soap company, to succeed and eliminate competition from other rivals. This particular lower had been called Prince Zandur. I do not like this deal, but respected her wishes. I had to sacrifice unworthy people whom I had deemed worthy to this hellish prince. I am hoping that my beloved does not discover this secret about myself.
That is disturbing shit here, I said, being flabbergasted.
His family forced him into doing things he did not want to do. That right there, that is dysfunctional.
Ben commented. We discovered Leslie curled into a ball upon the couch and hugging a pillow as a means of comfort. Ben joined him on the couch and began to console him in a loving embrace. I'll keep going, I said softly.
October 12th, 1933. The streets seem safer in New Orleans, but I will have to do my murder errands to other cities soon. Lenore is rather scared and pensive lately. She is frightened that she is alone, then will be attacked by the unknown killer. Oh, Lenore, I could never harm you. I will kill anyone who raises a hand to you, especially to that club's owner who makes sport of your body and touches your sacred areas. You shall be next on my shopping list.
My heart quivered, and for a moment it felt like he wrote this letter to me. I became conflicted that he was a dangerous serial killer, yet he is so loving and protective. I cleared my throat despite the heat rising to my face and continued on to the last journal entry.
October 31st, 1933. I confessed my shopping sprees to Lenore. At first, she mistook my admittance as a joke, until I showed her the head of a tormentor upon a dinner plate. The sight of it terrified her greatly, as expected, but she managed to give me her gratitude through cute stammers, and I told her that turning the bodies into soap pleased Prince Sandor. After much discussion, we decided to flee to her maternal family's home in Alabama. Perhaps moving to a new home could be what would break the contract with this prince. Who knows at this point? She wanted to keep me safe from the authorities. Bless her noble heart.
You got the ghost of a psychopath crushing on you. This is fucked up.
Leslie protested. It is, but maybe he wants to redeem himself by helping us, I said.
I don't know. This is risky, but we got your back,
Ben said, assuring me. Maybe having the party could distract us after what we found out? I suggest.
Yeah. I say we should get drunk.
Leslie said abruptly and dashed to the kitchen. We had a good time by throwing a demisexual themed party by watching funny romantic comedies and mocking them for the rest of the night. The little party worked well to improve our moods, yet I could not help but think of the journal entries. Having my heart warmed and feeling a little fear. It is all very confusing, yet having a warm welcome to it.